I needed something that took me away from the responsibilities of family life. So I needed something that I could just immerse myself in and forget about everything else. Once you open a hive up, you don't think about anything else other than those beautiful little insects crawling around the comb. And if you need that in your life, then beekeeping is definitely the hobby for you.
For thousands of years, all over the UK, beekeeping has been adored by many. The bees have kept up their side of the bargain by pollinating our crops and providing us with lashings of honey. But have we been the bee's knees and kept up our side of the bargain? Our actions have put our beloved Great British bees in danger, but now a chosen few are eager to volunteer themselves as a guardian of the bees. In Manchester's Heaton Park, there is an association of beekeepers eager to welcome those who have answered the call.
We teach here at Manchester Beekeepers for people to gain an understanding of the bees themselves, the problems that the bees face, and also the things that you come up against as beekeepers. At the moment we've got 9 colonies, but we run anything up to probably 20-25 colonies going through the season. Beekeeping it means different things to different people.
I'm in that phase of wanting to learn everything I possibly can at the moment. So.
And hopefully what I learn I'll pass on to my partner or my little girl, so as she grows up she'll understand the importance of everything that we're doing.
Right, and I mean, once you get in there, it's that fascinating watching them. You forget all about the fact that they might sting you and it could hurt, but just watching them is brilliant.
Come on girls, just coming in.
I like you talk to bees. I think that's brilliant. Lots of people don't do it. Yeah, we sometimes have bets on a Monday night where the queen's going to be.
Here she is. She's here in the bottom left corner. That's it. It's like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. It's amazing because they're such gentle, beautiful creatures. Fascinating, absolutely fascinating.
We've been guzzling our faces on this wonderful creature's oozing produce since the beginning of time. But how do bees make their delicious honey?
They'll find a plant which is secreting nectar, suck the nectar up through their proboscis, which is their tongue, take it back to the hive. They go inside the hive, and it's at this point that they do the waggle dance, because they want all of the other bees in the hive to know where they've collected that superfood from. It is mixed with enzymes which the bees produce inside their bodies, and then it's regurgitated and deposited into the cells inside the hive. When it's right, the bees know, and then they put a wax capping over it, and that keeps it as pure honey, and that's how honey's made.
Honeybees rely on their stores of honey to survive the winter. Unlike bumblebees, they produce far more than they actually need. Beekeepers get their honey by harvesting the excess. John Lockyer is an expert when it comes to extracting honey from the hives.
Welcome to my little world. What we're doing here is take this, as you can see, through the various stages to finish up with this. And we uncap and clean up in there. The idea is to preserve as much honey in here to be extracted in there.
But it's quite therapeutic doing this because it's just like repetitive and like, you have to get really into it.
Just keep licking your fingers. Just let it build it up slowly. And whilst that's going on, we'll have a tasting. Ooh. So just come straight off the hive, dip your spoon in, take a piece.
It's incredible. It's so tasty. It's so sweet.
Now this
The wax is strange,
is
but it
wild
doesn't taste
Irish
bad.
blackberry.
Surprisingly, not all honey tastes the same. In Derbyshire, Len Canziani is known as the bee man. He's taken taste to the next level.
With the honey, we sell a spring honey, a summer honey, we sell a creamed honey. The reason it's summer and spring is because as the flowers change, the taste changes. This is where we keep the bees, just the other side. They're only here for a couple of weeks, just while the borage is in flower. It was just around the corner here. This is the borage here that when it grows into a bush this big and produces a flower, is the one we use to make the wildflower honey. It's much lighter than normal honey, and that's borage.
We are a nation with a big sweet tooth, and Len knows where there's honey, there's money. Today he set up shop on Matlock Market.
Taste is 99% of it. You know, if we can get the customer to taste it, they'll buy it. Very rarely that they don't. You know, the honey is different because the different flavours. So some will go for the summer, others will go for the winter. Would you like to try some honey, sweetheart?
That's right, you can put marshmallows all over it, things like that, it all melts, I love it. Kids like that.
Oh, that's beautiful, that one.
Good, isn't it?
That's really nice.
All the food we make, we substitute the sugar for honey. And it's amazing how it changes food.
We can thank our fuzzy buzzy little friends for a lot more than just their honey. Our whole ecosystem depends on their hard work.
There's all sorts of statistics out there. One that I've heard recently is 2 out of 3 bites of food can actually be attributed to a bee pollinator.
Bees are very important. At the Dower House here we have an exhibition, and in the foyer there you can see all the vegetables and things. If we didn't have bees and the other pollinators, we would have no fruit, hardly any vegetables within 5 years. Well, there will be nothing to eat.
The humble bee has kept up their side of the bargain, but according to beekeepers, we have not.
We have many diseases in bees now that we didn't have 20 or 30 years ago.
The Varroa destructor is the #1 threat to bees across the UK. This mite lives off the blood of the bee, although this is not the main cause for concern. Just like fleas during the bubonic plague, the worry is that these mites will spread disease from hive to hive, decimating thousands of colonies nationwide.
Every colony in the country has this mite. You have to be able to manage it, keep the numbers down. If not, you could have problems.
You see there's some here that have died through starvation because of the winter. You see how small. Oh, there's honey here. There's still some honey in there.
Not knowing why a colony has died could be a sign of something much worse.
And obviously at this time of the year, each individual bee is quite precious, so it's quite important that we don't lose any. Just taking her off the hive there. Just putting her on my hand to give her a little warm. Well, she may be at the end, just at the end of her life, so she would just hang around and maybe die in my hands. I don't really know. It depends how they are. She's quite happy. She's preening herself at the moment, just cleaning off. She's definitely more lively than she was when I picked her off there anyway. That's probably all she needed. Yeah, I'm guessing she'll take off again in a minute now. Yep, there you go. Gone. Another one saved. So she'll hover her way back to wherever she came from now. back in with their mates. This year, particularly in the apiary, we've been revamping the garden especially. We've spent quite a lot of time over the autumn and winter months just putting some more foraging in for the bees so that we can extend their feeding time local to the hives. And that's something that actually anyone can do. If you've only got a little window box or a small planter at your front door, you can plant lovely pollinating plants for the bees and other pollinators.
Associations such as the Manchester Beekeepers inaugurate fellow bee guardians each year, crowning them with a protective veil to shield them from those they have sworn to protect.
We need more bees, so the more beekeepers we have, the more bees we'll have. That's the theory. As long as people know how to go about it properly, because if we don't manage diseases properly, the bees will start to die out again.
Spurred on by the warmer weather of spring, a rise of new beekeepers coincides with a population boom in the hives. The miracle of life, a new bee being born. A life which can do so much good for the world in such a small way. Another insect for the beekeeper to nurture.
Beekeeping's a wonderful hobby. Like no other hobby that I can think of, you can completely immerse yourself in it for however long you've got that colony of bees open in front of you. All the worries of the world just completely disappear. And really, if people could see what benefit to them that would do, which gives so much benefit back to the environment and the food chain, etc. It's just so wonderful, and there's all of that people don't get either.